Good evening, everybody. This is the Hashtagonist. I just wanted to point out that we've had some audio problems during this episode. It's only for one guest, and it might be a little distracting, but I wanted to put the episode out anyway because we have some cool stuff to talk about. It's E3 season, so we can't miss the episode, but it gets better at about 20-30 minutes in, so stick with us. Good evening, everybody, to the 10th and best episode of the Hashcast. And I have a whole group of cool people tonight, 4 white dudes talking about video games. What are the odds? But we're going to talk about E3, we're going to talk about leaks, and we're going to talk about the dreams that we have for the show. So we're going to start with my good friend, finally on the show, Dalibor. How are you, man?
Hey, it's your boy.
It's your
Click
boy.
like, subscribe, comment. It's me, Dolly. How you guys doing? So happy to be
It's
here.
so
This
nice
is
to have you.
It has been something I have been planning. I've had it on my calendar, wherever my calendar is, saying I'm going to get on the Hashcast one day, and I did it.
Yes.
Mom, I did it.
Episode 10, milestone episode, and I got you here, so that's great.
Yes.
And I have recurring guest by now, Jimmy Good. How are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing just fine. Thanks for having me on again. And double digits, baby.
Double
You
digits.
made it.
That's it.
We're here.
I heard that most people that start a podcast drop out after episode 7, so we're already past that. So we're good.
Attaboy. Congratulations. But thanks again, man, for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Awesome. And now you're not a returning guest, but a payback guest as well, because I have been on your show, Cal. Welcome to my show.
What's poppin'? Hey, is that true? Like seven episodes is all the average person makes?
Well, not the average person, but that's the drop-off date. That people, like, they watch their 30 views and they're like, this is not worth it anymore. I'm going to call it quits. Apparently, episode 7 is the one where they drop off. That's what I heard from someone else that did a podcast.
That's wild.
People can get at least 30 views. That'd be celebration for me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it is.
It's the SoundCloud listens, because you never know who's really listening, so you can pretend you have like thousands and thousands of viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about some cool stuff. For the listeners, like, you've probably heard this show like 1,000 times on different podcasts where we're going to predict like which games we're going to want to have announced. So I'm going to expand the rules a little bit and just call them E3 predictions. So we're going to go over the shows, and I want from all my guests to have one prediction per press conference. But it doesn't have to be a game. It can also be Kojima is going to have blue glasses, or it could be the tech demo for Ubisoft is just not going to work. We can do whatever we want. So we're going to go over the schedule, not necessarily in order, because I don't know which order it's going to be in anymore, because there's so much happening next week. But first things first, Dalibor, you're going to the show next week, aren't you?
Yes, I am. It is the 9th or 10th year that I've gone. I made it past that year 7.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Jimmy, you almost went to the show, but maybe next year.
Yeah, I'm thinking next year, but that's okay. I'll get to watch with everybody else.
That's true. Cal, have you ever been to E3?
No, we actually almost went this year, but there were some complications that got in the way.
Yeah.
So perhaps next
Okay.
year.
Well, I didn't almost. I just didn't go this year. I've been twice, so I'm already a jaded veteran by now.
Yeah.
You're over it.
I'm really missing out. As always, but we'll send Dalibor over and have him report back to us.
I'll do my best, everybody.
That'll be great.
That's right.
That'll be great.
Thank you.
So we're gonna get started then. Let's start with EA, and I'm gonna start with you, Dalibor. What is gonna be your one big EA prediction?
Ooh, my big EA prediction. I'm gonna say this is a weird one, right? Because EA is teasing Anthem from BioWare quite a bit, but I do think we're gonna see Dragon Age 4 information, and I actually don't even know if it'll be named Dragon Age 4, but there'll be something Dragon Age happening.
Do you think we're gonna see the actual game, or are we gonna see 20 minutes of concept art?
I think we'll see a very nice logo trailer.
Logo trailer. Okay, I'm gonna pull these two guys. Do you think Dragon Age 4 is gonna be there, Jimmy?
I think that there is always a chance, and I think that this would be a good year for EA to come with that, especially if everybody's looking over at Anthem.
Yeah.
This would be a really good time to sucker punch people
Okay.
with Dragon Age.
Cool.
That'd be cool.
How about you, Cal?
I feel like BioWare's got to be like all hands on deck with Anthem, right? Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine like a skeleton crew been working on. I mean, if it's a logo trailer, possibly there's got to be one dude with enough time to work on a logo to reveal that. But I don't know if we'd see that yet. I think that might be like a one year off at least.
I mean, I was sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's your prediction.
No, I was going to say you bring up a good point. But I think the BioWare is always working on a couple 2 to 3 projects at the same time. I think they're still working on Old Republic as well, right? Are they still part of Old Republic, or is that
No way, are they?
I have no idea because I know Old Republic is still alive. But they've typically worked on 2 to 3 major projects at a time, and understandably, if all hands go to Anthem, it's going to be a massive game. But we're already starting to see the drop off with things like Destiny and Destiny 2. I should say people are starting to shy away from that just because of Fortnite. So I think they're maybe starting to think what's next after Anthem, and they got to get people hyped up out of the sort of the hero shooter style game.
Yeah. I can see it. Dragon Age 4 being there this year. Not sure if I'm excited for it. Didn't really. Well, the last one was kind of cool. I guess it was Dragon Age 2 that I really didn't like. But I'll play it for sure. I hope it's going to be a completely new story and not just another continuation of that age-old conflict. But we'll see. Okay, so
what if it's Dragon Age Andromeda?
Yes.
If it has a cool multiplayer, maybe.
There you go.
Okay.
Dragons in space.
Okay, so we got.
That'd be sweet.
So we got Dalibor with the Dragon Age 4. How about you, Jimmy? What's your big EA prediction?
I've got a depressing EA prediction, and I don't want to make it, but I need to do this. EA, for the past 3 years in a row, has decided that, hey, let's take the biggest IP on the planet, Star Wars, and just show a bunch of just dev diaries. So they're going to show Respawn, these lovely people who've made great games, the Titanfall series, so good. We're going to get a sad dev diary from Respawn. And I hate to say it, but I just feel like they're going to be like, we're working on something really cool. And it'll just be people working on computers. And it's just, I know it's going to happen. I just know it. And I hate it already. And it makes me so sad because those guys are so talented. And I want to see a game or just anything, especially after the whole Amy Hennig visceral situation. It's just like, I just think that's going to happen, sadly.
Okay, Cal, how do you feel about the Respawn dev diary?
A Respawn dev diary again?
Yeah.
Or no, I guess they didn't do one before. Yeah, I guess they didn't do one before. I mean, I'd be bummed. I don't. Those are. I get they probably really like showing them and like showing the people behind it, but like as a crowd, usually they're kind of duds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dali, are they gonna do it again?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're gonna. This will be the 4th year in a row they did it, and I don't have any confidence in them not doing it. So I think, they're just gonna show us, hey guys, check it out. There's something on the screen in the background. We're just not gonna tell you about it, but we're working on something.
So I'm gonna think they're not gonna show Respawn at all. I think they're just gonna pretend it never happened. That whole thing.
God, that'd be a bummer because they did so well with Titanfall 2, and what a phenomenal game that was. It just got thrown, under. It's been a couple of years since that as well, so it's time that they show their next project, I'd say.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. All right, Cal, your big E3 EA prediction. What's gonna be?
My EA prediction is they're going to unleash Josef Fares, the dude in charge of A Way Out.
Yeah.
They're going to unleash him on stage, and he is going to have maybe not quite the Game Awards rant that he did last year, but I want him to have just let him loose. He's going to get a lot of PR, and he can debut his next game. And I don't think it's like super far. I think again it might be like a logo or a little mood teaser vibe trailer. But Josef Fares, I want him on stage. I think he's going to happen.
I saw Jimmy's arms go up when you mentioned his name, so I want to get his take on this one.
Yes, Cal, I love you so much for doing this because it is a crazy play that I would love to see EA do. I feel like it's something that Ubisoft, if they had this guy, would totally do in a heartbeat. But but I hope
Lean into
you're
him,
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Lean into it. Be like, here's this crazy guy who made the Game Awards, like, just blow up in a big way, and just have him just be out there 3 minutes unscripted talking about his next game. I think that's a good.
Yes,
prediction.
exactly.
Okay, Dali, what's the Joseph Ferris play?
You know what? I think that'd be brilliant. Actually, bring him out to introduce another game that's not by his studio. I think that would be fantastic because he's like this hype man. He's all of a sudden people want to see him more than anybody else on EA.
Yeah, have you ever?
It's true. He should host the conference.
Have you ever seen hype on an E3 press conference or an EA press conference?
Oh god, when they bring out an influencer?
Yeah, I guess maybe. I'm not feeling Joseph. We'll see. I think it would be cool, but EA, I think they're never going to put him in the spotlight again. We'll see.
Do you think there's a better
going to
chance?
restrain him, put a leash?
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think he's on a leash for at least this year. Sorry, do you want to miss your comment there?
What I was going to say, do you guys think there's a better chance of them bringing out like a celebrity influencer like they have in the past couple of years who is just completely checked out as opposed to Joseph Ferris, like what they did with Zach Efron a while ago, and he's totally jazzed about Battlefield. He's like never jazzed.
Yeah, that's kind of gonna go into my prediction later, so I'll expand my part there. But I think the Joseph play that sounds more Ubisoft to me, even though he has nothing to do with Ubisoft. But that's the kind of conference where I see something like that happening. But we'll see. It's a good prediction. Like, we have to put it out there a little bit, otherwise this is not a safe podcast. I want people to take risks with their predictions. Right. So
no safe bets.
That's right.
Oh, I already made a safe bet. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's fine. So for me, my big E3 prediction, I think they're gonna bring in a celebrity, but it's gonna be a sports celebrity, and every games journalist on Twitter is gonna be like, oh, they're talking about FIFA again, and then completely ignoring what we always do, that game sells millions and millions and millions of copies. And we're all going to pretend like, oh, nobody cares about sports games. Well, it's like one of their biggest sellers. So my prediction is David Beckham's going to be on stage selling the next FIFA or whatever, because it's a World Cup, right?
It's World Cup right during that time. Yeah.
So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to go all out on the sports celebrities that everyone on Twitter is going to hate, but the fans are going to love it. The FIFA fans are going to love it. So.
Cool.
It's a couple of good connections for the E3 startup. So I'm not going to go in order because I don't exactly know when the Square thing launches. And I'm going to switch to Ubisoft. Ubisoft is last year was my favorite press conference. Both like show-wise being there and just what they had to show. So I'm going to start with you, Cal. What's your big Ubisoft prediction for this year?
Oh, I feel like it's too safe to say Splinter Cell at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say Splinter Cell because I want to hear what Jimmy has to say if I say Splinter Cell.
Dang it, Cal, you know me too well.
Is it going to be...
But
I want you to expand on that, because just saying they're going to show Splinter Cell, that's too safe for this podcast. So I'm going to ask you to spice it up a little bit.
Okay, well, it's going to be the last thing they show. They don't do one more thing, but it's going to be the last thing. And it's going to be a really vague trailer at first, I think. There's going to be, like, raindrops, it's going to be dark, there's going to be alleyways, guys getting scoped out and stuff. And, like, there's going to be some action montage, and then, like, someone slinking through the shadows, and everyone's going to start swelling with hype. And then you're going to see one guy, and he's just having a smoke, and then arms from the darkness takes him back, and he comes back out. And someone's there to meet him, and he says, "It's about damn time." And then the triangular,
the lights,
3 green headlights. Splinter Cell.
All right. That's good enough. That's good enough. All right, Jimmy, you have the Splinter Cell inside info for me, aren't you?
Yeah, well, okay. So I've been working on something for Splinter Cell, and I'm not affiliated with Ubisoft or anything like that. I'm just a dreamer. But I've been, man, it's got to come right now. Obviously, we've had some leaks and stuff. There's been things where it's kind of been teased that it's happening. Also, we've had the great return of the one and only Michael Ironside back into this role. We see him as, Sam Fisher again in Ghost Recon Wildlands DLC, and it's just like, it's happening. It's got to be happening. And he even teased it himself. He was on Inside Xbox or whatever that was, that Xbox show or something like that, and he was talking about, he's like, I've always been Sam Fisher, and he's like, well, if we do something in the future, then if it's the right time. And I'm like, dude, you're basically saying like Splinter Cell's coming. So I think there's a really good chance that's happening.
All right. How about you, Dalibor? How do you feel about Splinter Cell?
I am. I never played a Splinter Cell game until I played Blacklist, and I know Michael Ironside he wasn't in Blacklist, right? He was different.
No, unfortunately
But
not.
I absolutely loved Blacklist. Loved it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it got me to go back into the past of Splinter Cell and get interested in it. So I think it's a fantastic prediction, and I'm all for it. And I think that would set the world on fire.
So I'm gonna put a wet blanket on this. I don't think Splinter Cell's happening at all. I think this whole like hype machine behind Splinter Cell and the rumors, that was all just him being in what is it called, Wildlands?
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think everybody's gonna be like, but where's Splinter Cell this year? But I might be wrong. You never know. And probably. I mean, there is definitely enough in the air there that people. I can see why people think it. I think it's going to be a big disappointment on the Splinter Cell front. But who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Splinter Cell. I know, Jimmy, you're still in hype mode, so I'm going to give it right back to you now. What's going to be your big Ubisoft prediction?
So, I want to talk about a franchise that they're working on right now that they've actually delayed recently, and I think it's for a good reason. Mm-hmm. We had Sea of Thieves come out this year, and a lot of people were kind of divisive on it, and a lot of people were angry that it wasn't exactly what people had promised. But with Skull and Bones, kind of like their multiplayer answer to kind of Sea of Thieves, not exactly, but it was out around the same time. I think they're pulling back on that. I think we're going to see the single-player campaign of Skull and Bones. Mm-hmm. I think that's what we're going to see. If they're going to show that off and be like, hey, you can play this game without a bunch of other people. There's still a solo campaign for you. Don't worry about that. Okay. So I think that's what we're going to see.
I have a question for you, Jimmy. Are we going to see a female pirate kill another female pirate in the trailer?
I think you'd see a female pirate captain kill another female pirate captain, but it's from boat to boat. I'm not sure if they go on land, but it would be sick if two ladies were duking it out with swords on a boat. I'm 1,000% on board for that, but we'll see. I want to see more female pirate captains. Very cool. Right. Disney's got them now.
So we got to start now. Okay, Dalibor, how do you feel about Skull and Bones?
I mean, the game was recently delayed to 2019, but they want to continually hype it up. So I think, I'd love to see that scene that you're describing there. I think that would work well. I think it's a game that they need for next year to kind of battle Sea of Thieves a little bit, and so I think it's they showed it last year. They better show it again this year.
Kel, how do you feel about Skull and Bones? If you're still there, you're still there.
Yes, I am. Am I still here?
Yeah, your mini image froze a little bit, so it's just like, oh boy.
No. No, I think that's a solid prediction. Like Dolly said, I got it 2019. I think something like that would be the perfect thing to show two moles on that prediction.
All right. I don't think anybody heard anything you said because you completely broke up.
I think the Blacklist was hearing him, and they were coming after him.
And it's funny because in the podcast we're gonna hear it, but then we're gonna still say this, so we can't hear you. So just for everybody else, sorry, what?
I said, hey, I think it's the solid prediction because with that coming out in 2019, I think they need to maintain hype. So I think Jimmy's theory is pretty solid on that.
All right, we'll see. So I'm on board for it. On board for Skull and Bones as well. I hope they show a lot because I don't remember if it was just a CGI trailer or that they showed some ship combat.
They did show ship combat. If you go back, you can see, I think, different classes of ships and things like that fighting.
They showed it, and I think a lot of us immediately thought it was Black Flag Part 3.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah. Cool. Yep. Finish the trilogy.
I love Black Flag, by the way. That is probably by far my favorite Assassin's Creed. I haven't played all hundreds and thousands of them, but I love Black Flag. It was my first PS4 game, I think, that I really dug into. Almost got everything, almost platinumed it, but there was a bug, and I couldn't, it wouldn't register one weapon type kill, so it pissed me off to the max. Maybe if they fix it, I'll just go in and get that one thing and finish up my score.
You ever tried like Assassin's Creed Rogue? Because it's basically the same thing, but just like in the north.
Oh no!
Like you probably really like
yeah,
it.
no, I might, but there's.
And they just re-released that, right?
Yes, they did. They remastered it.
Because there's nothing else to play, right? To go back to it.
Exactly. Well, hey, Ubisoft sent me a code for that game, so thanks, Ubisoft. It's the only game code I've gotten, and it was fun to review that
that's
game.
Pretty
It's a fun
That's
game.
pretty, you're in the biz now, Jimmy. That's good.
Yes, sir. The remasters, I got them.
Ubisoft, by the way, is like fantastic to work with. I think personally, like they're always very forthcoming with helping like I know we're like only A-level celebrities here, and not like we haven't all hit AAA yet. But even then, Ubisoft is very pleasant to work with. So go, you guys, Ubisoft. This is not sponsored by Ubisoft. So my big Ubisoft press conference is as it when I hosted it. My prediction is that Ubisoft is going to win E3. That's going to be my prediction.
Again,
yeah,
win it again.
I think.
Wow.
Actually, and I say that, but it's probably not even going to happen because they would have to have a lot of surprises for that to happen because a lot of what they've shown hasn't come out yet. So the chances are that we're just going to get a rehash of last year with more information. So they gotta have something like huge for it to win. But I like to give it to them because they have been surprising a lot. Because I could not have predicted like 80% of what they showed last year. So we'll see if they do it again. And if they do have a lot of new stuff to show, then it's going to be a big ass press conference because we're going to have to see a lot of gameplay of all the other stuff. Because I think only what we've seen last year was Rabbids that has now come out. I wonder if we'll see like that DLC for Steep. I think the Olympics or something like that. I'm not even sure if
that already came out, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but for the rest,
How about Origins?
Is it out?
The last that DLC is coming out right now, I think, or very
Yeah,
soon.
they were showing that off last year because
Yeah.
it just came out in November, right?
Well,
last year.
we're clearly going to have Odyssey apparently, which we'll talk about in a later segment when we're talking about leaks and stuff. But yeah, so my prediction, and maybe it's a little bit more wishful thinking. I think Ubisoft is going to blow it out of the water, and they're gonna take E3 again. So how about you, Dalibor?
Well, first let me comment on that one.
Okay.
Am I commenting or am I predicting?
Yeah, comment. Sorry, yeah.
Okay. No. You know what? I have always enjoyed Ubisoft's press conferences. I actually think Aisha Taylor did a great job hosting. I know she was divisive, but she is a gamer. She understands the industry. She's a comedian. She's a great actor and boisterous personality. So I think when she sort of took over, Ubisoft began its climb in press conferences, and they've actually had, I think, two of my favorite in the last 3 years, right? And so last year's was wonderful. I could see them completely winning this year, mostly because, and we'll get to this, everything's been leaked already except for what they've shown. And they've had a couple things leaked, but only one they've actually confirmed. And I think there's going to be some. Actually, do think there's going to be a big surprise, and I'll throw in when it's my turn. But yeah, I think they have a lot that they can showcase, and the public perception of them is really positive right now.
All right. So, Kel, I said Ubisoft's going to win E3. How do you feel about that prediction? I think we lost Kel, so I'm going to switch.
I think they have a lot of things up there.
Oh no, he's back.
Oh no!
No, you're still there.
Can you hear?
No, I think you're going to have to.
Yeah, hey, I'm still here. Sorry.
Okay, Jim.
Sorry, I missed you.
Yeah, so I said Ubisoft's going to win E3. How do you feel about that?
I think it's possible. They could have a lot of things up their sleeve they're going to do again, and do some sort of Rabbids thing. Maybe they did a different IP. Maybe a Rabbids too. I think that'd be sick. I like Splinter Cell, but they're still in my mind. Yeah. I think they have a good chance.
All right, Kel, you're barely audible.
I'm sorry.
It's when you're not on screen.
I don't think the internet can handle just the four of us coming together, much like the Infinity Stones.
That is right. Okay, Jimmy, what do you think? What's going to happen with Ubisoft? Are they going to take it?
Well, I think that I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think that's completely out of the realm of possibility. I think though, to go back on what you said with the wet blanket of Splinter Cell, here's what you do: you bring old Phil Spencer out there with the goggles. He takes them off and he says like it's coming to Xbox One X like first, or there's special DLC coming there. It's going to look the best on there because that stuff pairs so well together, like the green, the Xbox, and all that. But I also think we might see a little bit of Beyond Good and Evil 2, and I think that would be something that people would lose their minds over to see more of.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They'll have to bring something special. But yeah, we'll see. I think I'd like to give it to them, but I have other feelings from other press conferences as well. But Dalibor, what is going to be your big Ubisoft prediction?
Ooh, so I mean, you guys have mentioned some great ones. The Skull and Bones update. We mentioned Beyond Good and Evil 2. Which I don't know if it's ever actually going to come out. Splinter Cell, that one has been, and we'll talk about that later. Even the Assassin's Creed Odyssey stuff. But none of that. I think we're going to get Davide Soliani on stage again to announce his next game, which will once again be a Nintendo and maybe Ubisoft IP mashup that could blow some minds, and it may actually not even be Rabbids. It may be something a little more serious. I'd love for like a something with Samus, or something of that level of craziness that you'd make it like a super like Watch Dogs and Samus Aran or something crazy. I don't know, but I think
Yes.
I think that studio did one. I mean. Mario and Rabbids is one of my most played games of 2017 by far. I think I've probably put about over 100 hours into that game just because there's a lot of challenge maps and the online. The multiplayer was great. By far my most played by myself Wii U game, or sorry, Switch game. Sorry. But Freudian slip. But yeah, I think he's going to come on stage and announce something that maybe won't be available this year. But I do think that he's got so much goodwill with Nintendo, and that game sold great. Most importantly, the game sold great in Japan, which is, it's a testament to great design. So
I bought Mario and Rabbids 2 weeks ago. I've not put a lot of time in it because I just haven't had time to play it a lot, not even on handheld. But it looks good. What is his studio known for before this game? Because I have no idea what he did that earned him this title of Nintendo Ubisoft crossover man.
So it's Ubisoft Paris and Ubisoft Milan, and I think Paris is actually known for Ghost Recon. And the and Milan is known for a lot of the Rayman stuff. And Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, they've kind of done some assistance on some things. So, I think that's good cachet or good background for why he was able to get that product.
All right, cool. How do you feel about the Rabbids, Jimmy?
I think that's a really good idea. I think that Ubisoft will double down this year, if not with somebody else, with Nintendo again. Because honestly, when I think about last year's E3. I think of those two guys back to back with blasters, Eve get out there holding those, just like that is just such a beautiful thing. That's why we watch E3. It's like a wrestling run out. Like somebody's running out to the ring and you're like, who's coming out here? And it's like, it could be anybody. And that's so cool.
And to watch Davide like come to tears.
Yeah, it's so beautiful because like you said, the game sold really well. It was a good game and it wasn't a gimmick. It was like a legitimate good thing. And it wasn't just like, oh, we should do this as a marketing campaign like ploy. It's like, nope, this is good and everyone will like it. So it's like, I hope so. I hope you're right.
and that was a quick turnaround too, because we sort of knew that it was coming from leaks again, but then it was officially announced. First time we've seen it at E3, and it was out in the same or like
2 months after.
Yeah. Yep, August, I think.
So who knows? Who knows? I'll be I'll be curious. Cal, I'm gonna try to give it to you again. How do you feel about Dalibor's prediction? No.
Hey, hello. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I 100% on board. Mario plus Rabbids is. I only started playing it this year, but it's my favorite game of this year. And I played God of War. I played Far Cry 5. It is super addictive. I just keep going back to it. I stopped playing God of War to go back to my Switch so I could play more Mario plus Rabbids. So nothing would make me happier than doing this.
Cool. Excellent. All right, I think that's a solid lineup of predictions for Ubisoft. Going to another studio, Bethesda. I'm gonna give it to you, Dalibor, first thing. Bethesda. First of all, Bethesda Land always fantastic. They put a lot of effort into their press conference. So, but people at home do not get the Bethesda Land experience, so they really have to bring it to the show. Because for the journalists, everybody's gonna love Bethesda Land because they're gonna eat like big ass turkey legs and drink a lot of drinks from big metal cups. So I'm not sure you can see this, but this is the cup that they gave me last year. It's a Skyrim Elder Scrolls cup.
It actually looks smaller because your hands are giant.
Yes. I also have the Wolfenstein shot glass on my desk here somewhere. That's still here.
Historically accurate.
Milkshake came in there. Tiny milkshake. But at home you don't get that experience. So I was also showing it to the camera on like small screen, and it says Dalibor's big face on it, so nobody saw that. So I'm just gonna do it again, like it's this thing. Anyhow, so Bethesda, what are they gonna do to wow everybody? What's your big prediction?
Wow. First of all, I didn't get a chance to get a pass to Bethesda Land this year, so the showcase. So I'll be waiting in line. But anybody from Bethesda, Pete Hines, anybody, if you're listening to this,
yes,
shoot something my way. Anyways, I love Bethesda's press conferences because they do a lot of fan service, and I actually loved their video last year. They showed the people that were behind development and their kids. I think they showed like. These are all the kids that were born, and these are the families of people, which was actually a really cool way to do it. To that point, I think this year, and I wasn't going to throw down a game announcement, but I'm not going to throw down a game announcement. I'm going to actually say that what they're going to do is something theatrical. By that I mean TV or film related to one of their properties.
Ooh.
And they're going to announce
Skyrim the movie?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fallout TV show could be.
Okay, I like that. Interesting. Jimmy, what do you think about this one?
I think that's not too far off. I think we've seen a few properties out there right now, like Game of Thrones or The Man in the High Castle, which I think means that these types of stories are marketable.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they did come out and say something like that. And they're like, yep, we are making a Wolfenstein movie. Or something like that, or a TV show, like you said. That would be kind of cool, especially if it was like a Netflix tie-in or something. That would be a big deal.
I love this prediction. How about you, Cal? What do you think about that?
The prediction, and yeah, I would be surprised if Bethesda had not been approached before for something. Or the Elder Scrolls in general to be, made into a TV show, like even HBO or Game of Thrones is going to be off the table within 2 years. Maybe they want another medieval series. Like that would be sick.
I'm just. You taken by surprise, Dalibor, with this one. I love it. I love it. I would. They have so much to work with. But is it going to be directed by Uwe Ball?
Is it Doom 2?
Yeah.
Is what you're saying?
Maybe not.
Uwe Ball.
Maybe not. I like that. I think that's a great idea. I'm not even going to contest it. I want that to happen now. So awesome. You get bonus points for that one if it's true.
I'll take an extra shot.
Jimmy, how about you? What's going to be your Bethesda prediction?
Well, dang, I should have gone first because I'm not going to be able to top that. My thought is like they're just going to close the show out with some Elder Scrolls. Like they'll show a title or something. They'll tease it just a little bit because I feel like that's kind of the bread, and then like Fallout's your butter. And just kind of go back and forth. And but I feel like that's. They'll start teasing that soon because we've seen a bunch of kind of like mobile games and tie-ins and like their card games and stuff. I hope we don't see too much of that. I just want to see like a pure, like here it goes. Like let's just move on from Skyrim, please. I'm so done seeing Skyrim.
I'm Skyrim now too. Okay, I like that. Carl, how do you feel about that Elder Scrolls prediction?
I don't know if they do it because, they said they have 2 other games in the works that weren't Fallout or Skyrim.
Yeah, true.
But then they just showed Fallout 76.
That's true.
So maybe they're huge liars, Jimmy. I don't know.
They could
Maybe
be.
they are.
We'll see.
I think it's cool. Well, the last thing is that Bethesda's been doing that like debut and then they roll out to release in like 4 months thing. And I don't know how that's been working out for them. So maybe this is the time to show Elder Scrolls 6. Like it's coming.
Yeah, that'd be nice. What do you think, Dolly? Are we gonna get it this year?
Well, yeah, that's a great one, and I was trying to figure out if we wanted to do if they're going to be doing their other property, which you may touch on. I don't know, but so far everything that they've announced, Rage 2 is 2019, Fallout 76. There's no way that could be 2018 because of all the rumors we've heard. So what is coming out 2018? Well, they usually have a big giant RPG. Each year, something kind of major, so I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah.
That would be huge if they released it this year. Wouldn't that be nuts?
It would
People
be
would go
nuts.
insane. People would be like, what? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be the mic drop.
That would be the mic drop of E3.
Yep.
End of the show. Like,
Well, I don't think it's gonna happen, guys. Again, but I think they could not have kept Elder Scrolls 6 a secret at all. Like their game that big. Well, I don't know. Like when it was Fallout 4, like people were seeing them take footage in Boston, and like there's always something.
Mhm.
Like there's always at least a little bit of smoke. So I would be very surprised if they come on like, well, here it is. But I'll touch on that on my big Bethesda prediction. But first, I'm gonna give you a call. What's gonna be your big Bethesda prediction? Of course, he drops out in the moment I give the mic.
here it is. Tsukami.
There we go.
Hey.
What? Sorry, I missed that one. Tsukami?
Shinji Mikami. Shinji Mikami,
Yeah.
director of The Evil Within,
Okay.
is going to debut his next game, and it's going to be a spiritual successor to Vanquish them games.
Spiritual skills to Vanquish. All right. Again, Jimmy's arms go up immediately, so I need to get this first response.
oh my gosh, what an amazing thing. Like, honestly, if that were to pop out, now that's the type of thing that is much more, I think, like, believable, especially in a shorter time frame, because I think, like, you don't need as big of a crew to work on that. I think that was a game that a lot of people passed up, and I think if it came back, people would be kind of excited about it. So I hope that one's true. That'd be sick.
Hell yeah.
How would you, Dolly?
Well, first of all, it is an utter joy to see Jimmy's hands go up every time we make a prediction because I'm loving this positivity. It's fantastic. We definitely need that. Yeah, well, you know what? It's how many years in between was Evil Within 1 and 2? Was it 2 years or 3 years?
2.
I mean, 2. Well, he's definitely working on something, as we all know. And I think he wants to maybe get away from Evil Within only because Resident Evil 7 was so good. It took sort of the hype away from Evil Within later in the year. I believe it could be something, but it may be just too early to bring him out. I think he's sort of reassessing the kind of game he's making. So I'd love it. I'm staring at Vanquish right now on my wall because it's one of my favorite games of last gen. But I don't know. It's gonna be a little bit. I think they're gonna give him a little bit more time to marinate.
All right, we'll see. I would like. I have no dog in this fight. It would be cool.
I'll allow
at least
it.
it's not Starfield that everybody is talking about. That apparently is going to happen. A game I've never heard of myself because I'm a big game girl. But so we'll see. A spiritual success to Vanquish. We'll lock it in. So my
Hell yeah.
big Bethesda prediction is it's not going to be Fallout. It's not going to be Elder Scrolls. I think they're going to come with the big third. I think they're going to come out with a new genre RPG that they're going to be able to build on introduce it this generation and then like knock it out of the park on the second one. Because you can't just make these things forever, right? But if they introduce like something completely new, like a new IP, but that's kind of like Skyrim and Elder Scrolls, they're not that different in a way. Like, yeah, sure, the combat's different, but it's the big map, the exploration, the quest, and the story. I think they can easily do that again with a brand new IP, and I would love to see how that's going to look. Maybe it's going to use space. I would love Bethesda to tackle like a exploratory RPG, say, basically like Mass Effect, Skyrim, Fallout mix-ish. I think they need the third IP, and it would be great to see it. So that's going to be my big one. So I'm going to give it to the panel. Dalibor, what do you think about that?
Oh, God, that's been the one that's been rumored for so long, and they need that big game for this year, and it's usually an RPG on these every other years, right, or every 3 years, whatever. And it's been 3 years since Fallout, and I think it's time. I'm good with it, and I definitely think that Todd Howard tried to throw a curveball in the mix by saying during the Fallout 76 reveal, he said, "This is the game that Bethesda Game Studios has been working on." Yeah. But we know they work on a couple of games at a time, at least 2 or 3. So he probably would have been better to rephrase. He was probably thinking, "This is one of the games that I think it's going to be revealed this year." I didn't want to say it as mine, but I think it's as revealed.
So here's the thing: like what we've seen so far,
for release this year,
or what we've heard so far from 76, is that it's not probably going to be a full-blown Fallout game. So resource-wise, it might be a little lighter as an additional game in their portfolio. So that's why I'm ballsy enough to put the third big IP out. What do you think, Jimmy?
I think that's a good bet. Also, we're missing a lot of sequels to Fallout 4 there. There's 5 through 75 that we're missing. Exactly. So whatever this is going to be, like, whatever. But I think that this is a good time for that, and I would love to see it. I want to see them beat Far Cry to the punch. Yeah. Because honestly, I think that's where Far Cry is headed soon, too. I think they're headed to space, and I think that this is a legit space race happening here. So let's go, Bethesda.
That would be so awesome. Far Cry space. Oh, my goodness, what are you doing to me?
Oh, yeah.
Space race!
Oh, my God.
Let's do it.
What do you think, Cal?
Yeah.
I think that's good. You know, I think like a third pillar. You're right. They can't just keep doing, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Elder Scrolls. Yeah, I'm totally down. That's a good bet.
Right. Cool. Lock it in. So next on the list, before we go to the big 2, like Square Enix is gonna do I think it's a pre-recorded press conference. But still, there's potentially a lot there. So I do want to go through it. I'm going to start with you, Carl. What's going to be the big prediction for you for Square Enix?
Man, Square Enix, that's interesting. Like, they clearly think they have enough to do a show. They don't do a show every year, right? It hasn't been since 2015 that actually gone out and done a conference. That's when they revealed Final Fantasy. The year it has to return, I would imagine. March 3, Final Fantasy 7 remake.
I can't.
Thing on?
No, I missed you completely. I think you said Final Fantasy 7 remake, The Return. But there was a robot screaming.
I did. I said, Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Okay. Okay, well,
with the release date.
With the release date, okay. There's the hot take. Jimmy, are we gonna see the release date?
I think that at this point, we'll do what Square likes to do. They will give us a release date, or like a year at least. But even if they do that, they will push it off regardless. We'll have an event for it eventually too. It'll be like, this is the release date. They'll be like, wait, just a few more months. Don't worry about it. But I still think Final Fantasy 7 being shown is. I think it's not a certainty, but I think it's very high % chance. So.
Cool. Dalibor, what do you think? Are we going to see it? You're still muted.
Yeah, I was sorry about that. I was snorting cocaine over here. No, just kidding. Here's my personal story with Final Fantasy VII is that since it was revealed, every year after that, I had predicted that they were going to show an update for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and something would be playable that year. This is the first year, and of course, it never was. This is the first year I'm not saying a single thing about Final Fantasy VII Remake, which means
it's gonna come.
They're gonna show something fun this year.
Yeah. So we had a story out not long ago. I think it was Kotaku or Polygon that said like it's not coming until like 2023 or something stupid like that. I don't know what to think of that. I think we've seen some indication that there might be an actual new reveal. I saw a screenshot floating around and something captured off screen, like stuff like that. If they don't bother at this point anymore.
My logic about it is like they clearly think they have enough to have an actual press.
Yeah.
What else do they have aside from Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah. I think it's not safe to say it's going to be there, but I think it's a good prediction. They have to have something. We haven't heard about this whole episodic thing in quite a bit because that was the big worry in the beginning. I don't think it was going to be like a Telltale Games episodic. I think they were just going to split it up in 3 big games, kind of like how they did Final Fantasy 13, 1, 2, and 3, just because there's enough there to split it up. And I think they're going to expand on the story. It's not just going to be a clean remake. But that's just me talking out my ass, really, because I have nothing to back that up with. But I'd love to see it. Final Fantasy 7. That's going to be a winning ticket. Like if they do that, then by default, I would say they would take it.
Damn.
But it's just it's going to do it. Like if they show gameplay of the game, everybody's going to forget what everybody else does, and they're going to love it. And it's going to show up on Xbox or PlayStation at the same time. We'll see. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Let's do it. Jimmy. Square
Enix. Yes. Well, we kind of talked about that big one, and obviously Kingdom Hearts 3 is on its way too. One that I think is going to be, it's kind of a boring prediction, but I don't think a lot of people are going to talk about it too much. I think they're going to try to show off a little bit more of Dragon Quest XI, even though it's released over in Japan. I still think they might try to show it off just a little bit here to try to garner some traction for the West, because we've seen games like Persona 5, like Nier Automata, like some of these big Japanese franchises take hold here in the West. And I'm really hoping Dragon Quest XI gets a little bit of that love too, because I think it's well deserved.
I've never played Dragon Quest game, but what I've seen so far, it looks very, very cool. I see Dalibor's face going like, what?
You're missing out. It's my favorite RPG series.
Yes, that a boy. Dalibor. Yes.
We share a lot in common, Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
So you think it's going to happen, Dali? Dragon Quest 11, all out, blowout.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're going all out with. They're going all out with it. They even. I think they've already posted some of that as going to be on their showcase. They've sent out like some pre-E3 stuff. So yeah, they're going to go all out with that. And I think they're going to be showing something extra for that. Only because the 3DS version isn't coming to the US anymore. Which is, it's only the PS4 version, but there were some really awesome features in the 3DS version. It was the best version. It had like the really cool Street Pass stuff and some other things. I'm almost wondering if they roll some of that stuff in there. So I think it's gonna be a big part of their story with some added like features in there. I think it's a smart prediction.
All right. Cool. Carl, what do you think? Dragon Quest 11?
I think so. Safe bet. I think they'll spend like a good 5 minutes on it, talking about it. And although I'm not personally interested, I love that Akira that Dragon Ball Z art style. Love seeing that.
Yep.
All right, we'll see. I'll give it Dragon Quest 11. I'm just curious to see more of myself. But yeah, it has to be on the roster. Like, there's no way it's not. So, Jimmy with the soft bet on that one. What do you think, Dalibor? What's going to be your big Square Enix?
I'm trying to think of a few, and I mean they're the ones that have the least that has leaked.
Yeah.
Because we already know Dragon Quest XI is coming. We already know Tomb Raider. What else? They're not going to spend half an hour on each one of those games. So, especially since all the Dragon Quest 11 stuff is already out, and we've seen some Tomb Raider stuff. I'm guessing one of their I'm going to say one of their non-RPG properties is going to make a big comeback. And I looked at some of their stuff from the early PS1 era, like they had the fighting games on there. They had I think Einhander. They had some other stuff on there. I am confident they're not confident. I am strongly believing that they're going to be bringing back one of their previous, the PS1 era IPs that they haven't touched in 20, 30 years. They're going to bring that back.
Okay. Is it going to be Secret of Mana?
Chrono Trigger?
No.
Chrono Trigger?
Oh, God, that would melt brains, but it wouldn't be Chrono Trigger. I think Chrono Trigger is, I don't know what they're doing with Chrono Trigger. They're messing up the PC version of what they're doing with that.
I think Chrono Trigger is so risky that if they do it wrong, it could ruin everything.
It could ruin the entire series if they do it wrong.
If they do a Secret of Mana style remake of Chrono Trigger, I don't think people are going to react positive to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Yep.
But well,
I mean, they already did Chrono Cross. They are.
Yeah.
I like Chrono Cross, actually. I really like that game.
Yeah. So what do you think, Jim?
I think that
It's
is
fine, but it's not that Chrono Trigger is.
That's true.
Sure. I think that's actually a pretty cool idea. I would love to see that. I would love to see them come with something out of left field, because right now there's so many of those kind of tentpole pillar things, the three we kind of talked about. It would be really cool for them to be like, guess what? There's something you haven't seen in a long time. And bam, here it is. So, I like that. It's a good prediction.
Plenty of potential for that. How do you call?
Yeah, I think that would be like a rich history to pull from. Like they just show people that are country. I think it's a great prediction.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a good bet, Dali. I think it's has a lot of potential for a surprise and brain melters if they bring something back that nobody ever thought was even possible. All right, good.
Yeah, they'll probably remake Final Fantasy VIII before they finish Final Fantasy VII. More than anything.
Oh my goodness!
Like this is one arrogant.
If they remade Final Fantasy VIII like this, oh my god! Oh my god!
Very so. Yeah, Jimmy.
Gunblade, baby.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do you guys remember Left? Do you guys think that's gonna like blow anyone's mind? Could that be like their secret weapon or something?
Dalibor was a big sigh.
I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think it can be. I don't know. There's part of me that's just leaning away from it.
We just haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Of it, so I was just wondering. Hey, does anyone remember that game even?
I don't think anybody does. To be honest.
I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see. Well, I think they have plenty of room to surprise. So. When you were talking, Dalibor, I completely forgot about Shadow of the Tomb Raider that's going to take a big slot on their agenda. I actually played Shadow of the Tomb Raider for a full hour during the reveal event that was here in Montreal. It was great. I really liked it. I think they're really taking it to another level. But so when I talk about Tomb Raider, it's like, well, we already know a lot about Tomb Raider. It's like, no, wait. There's just been a trailer, unless you actually was at the event and played it. So definitely you'll see some of that, but that's not going to be the mind blower. I think what they're gonna do to impress everybody. And I don't want to we keep falling back on game reviews because it's just the nature of the beast, I guess. So when we talk about predictions, first of all, it's going to be weird. There's going to be a dude with something weird on his head or whatever. That's not my prediction, but it does tie into that because I think they're gonna come back with something near related. Either a remake, remaster of the first one, because the Automata was so successful that they might try to bring that back, or maybe a huge. I'm not sure if they're doing expansions for Automata, but that game did numbers, so they would be crazy not to do something. And I don't think people will see that coming right away. So who knows? We'll see.
Solid. That's solid. Because you're right. people in the Nier train right now, and like they'd be a fool not to master of the old one or something.
So that's maybe safe bet. Jimmy, what do you think? We're gonna see some Nier?
Potentially, I think you'll see, I forget if it's like 2B or the names of the characters, and Noctis as character costumes for Dragon Quest XI. That's what I'm going to get.
Ooh.
I'm just going to say they're just going to start mixing and matching all this stuff together. So that's at least how you'll see Nier in one form or another, just in some sort of weird thing.
Can you imagine like a Nier costume in Final Fantasy 15?
Dude, sick.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have to. I was going to say I have to hand it to Square for continually supporting Final Fantasy 15, almost like a live service type of game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just almost know that they're gonna put Cindy in like a 2B costume. She's made.
They started 15 and they never stopped developing it. It just never stopped coming out. Like it was never going to come out, and then it never stopped coming out.
Yeah, that's true.
Good. All right, so we've got two big ones left, and we're going way over time already, but that's fine. It's fine because we're having fun. So we got Sony and Microsoft. Let's start with Sony because they don't always have to be the last one out. Dalibor, what's going to be your big Sony prediction?
Big Sony prediction is okay. Days Gone is never coming out, but I know that game is coming out apparently because it was on the cover of Game Informer. They had a big feature about it. It is. Oh God, it's just really weird. It's hard to even kind of figure out. But I'm just gonna say big price cut on PS4 Pro. I don't have a lot of. I don't want to say confidence or anything, but they're doing a great job of telling us exactly what's coming out, and I'm fine with this format. There's not a lot of surprises. So what would surprise me and would make me jump into buying a PS4 Pro and then getting a 4K TV is if it got an actual price cut.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see a good price cut on that.
Interesting.
More than $50.
Interesting. What do you think, Jim?
I think that is actually a really good idea because, going forward here, we have, as far as pros, I'm not sure how they're outselling, but typically the PS4 to Xbox One, it's been a 2-to-1. And I think to keep that lead, especially with the Pro not being as powerful as the Xbox One X, I think some sort of price cut, talking about that, bringing it into the holiday season is a really smart move. And I think that's a good way to solidify your standing in this generation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Carl? We got a delay there. All right, we'll stop back to calls. Wait, here comes it.
If it gets the price cut, maybe it just
Check.
Sorry.
Yeah.
She is so terrible tonight.
I think we got most of it, but
Yeah.
are you recording it or not at all?
No, I wasn't recording
Okay.
it. I can start.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it's what it comes out to. So price cut, yeah, that's safe. I think it's about time. Or, I'll do you one better. Do you think they can do a Slim Pro?
Oh.
No, there's no need.
It's not worth it. No, I don't think that's worth a manufacturing line at all, to be honest. Okay, cool. Price cut. What do you think, Jim? What's going to be the big Sony reveal?
Aloy skin for God of War. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be awesome.
Just like she's like, come here, boy. They got Ashley Birch to come in and record voice.
That'd be so fun.
That'd be amazing. Wow, people would love that. What I think is going to happen is what I would actually like. We're going to do a bold prediction because I've thrown a few softballs. Let's throw a curveball. We're not doing remake here. We're doing a full sequel to Sly Cooper. We're not doing this like obviously they'll probably do that like the remake, but like a remaster. We're doing a full sequel to Sly Cooper. Bring him back out because we've seen Crash doing well, Spyro's doing well. Bring back Sly, man. Bring him out there. Let's see him. Let's go, Sony. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you.
Cool.
So
You think we're going to see Sly, Dalibor?
No.
Just cold.
I'm gonna say no. They had a Sly Cooper game a little while back, didn't they? Or was it the remasters or something? I don't think it's Sly. I think it's Yeah, I don't think Sly.
What do you,
I think something else, but not Sly.
what,
Oh,
what do you think, Cole?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I don't think we're going to see Sly. I could see logic behind Spyro, and I love the optimism, but I don't know if Sly can cut it in this world.
maybe.
Hmm.
Maybe not.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see, Jimmy. We'll see if it's going to be Sly. It's going directly against my prediction, but we'll get into that later. All right, Paul, we're going to give you the big prediction. Sony.
Sony. Yeah, okay. Two maybe have yet to announce, and they're coming out within this next fiscal year. They're going to drop both of at Sony's conference.
I did not get any of that.
They're going to drop what news?
Capcom is going to announce both of their titles at Sony's.
Oh, Capcom will announce both their titles at Sony's press conference. Interesting.
And it's going to be Dragon's Dogma 2 and what else?
Oh,
I love you so much, Ash.
yeah. Capcom's got a 2-hour
It's a
press appointment with us. So.
Ooh. Sweet.
ooh.
I'm going to rely on you for all the hot deals and
It's probably just 2 hours of Mega Man 11, more than likely,
Yeah.
for all I know.
fair.
No, it's going to be a really long demo of Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah. We'll see.
It's going to be sick.
Jimmy. Yes, yeah, I will Cry 5 and Resident Evil Remake 2. But, you know, but I still think Capcom relationship with them that they're...
I think you're right. Not.
Yeah. Burn.
I think I'm...
Okay, so I think my big Sony prediction, you're not going to like this, that it's going to suck. That the entire Sony press conference is going to suck and people are going to be actually upset about the press conference. Even though they said, we're going to do a deep dive in 4 big games and we're going to have some reveals and we're going to have some... I think people are going to think they're going to, as always, get like the Super Sony show, and it's not going to be it, and people are not going to like it. It's going to be my wet blanket prediction. So I would definitely recommend tempering expectations on this one. Last year was not a huge year for Sony. They didn't have a huge E3. They barely had a PSX.
That wasn't PSX. That was horrible. That was horrendous.
Yeah, that was a waste. Well, it shouldn't have. It didn't have to be a whole event. Like they could have just had the show on the show floor and not bother with the show. Even though it was nice, like. Okay, here's what I would think. If they would have had people on stage, like they had Horizon, the guy from Horizon, Herman, what's his name? I forget his last name. That was fun. But then they brought out Corey, who was still in the mid of development of God of War, and he just had nothing to do. He could say some stuff, because I adored the post God of War release logs that he did. Like how we talked about the game and what went into what. And that was fantastic. If they had that on stage at PSX, it would have been a good show. Even though you expect like the press conference that you always get. So yeah, I'm gonna say they're not gonna have a great show. People are gonna be upset about it because it's the internet. But it's gonna be my prediction. But I'm gonna see if the panel here agree compared to their own predictions here. I bet they don't, but we'll see. Dalibor, what do you think?
I'm there with you. I think they're not focusing on surprises or really reveals. They're just going to do a sizzle reel of stuff that they didn't announce. I think it's those 4 games, and that's I'm in with you. People are going to be upset, but they're going to be 4 really awesome games.
I'm so done with hearing about Spider-Man. Like it's gonna be a great game, don't get me wrong, but like it's gonna come out in 3 months. Like just like let me play it. I don't need a deep dive at this point. What do you think, Jimmy? Sony's gonna disappoint?
I think they might have something kind of exciting in the beginning and at the end, but the rest of it won't be that great. And I think a lot of that is actually going to be with the gameplay reveal of Death Stranding.
Yeah.
I think once people know what that game is, some people are going to be like, "Oh, okay, great." Like people are going to be like, "It's going to suck the air out of that room," and people are going to be like, "What the heck?" And they're going to be
a puzzle game.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I could totally see it too. Yeah, I'm already sick of hearing about Death Stranding. Like Spider-Man, sure, but like I'm just like. I know some people are excited. I don't want people to be angry, because I know some people are really stoked on that game. But I think the deep dives, specifically for that and Spider-Man, will be kind of like just come on, let's go. So Ghost of Tsushima, though, I'm excited about.
And I want to clarify that I don't think it's going to be a bad show of games. Like I think what they're going to show is going to be all great. But I think people have their expectations going to be too high, so they're going to be disappointed. So it's going to suck on the internet. Like people who say it's going to suck. Despite what they show, like I think what they're going to show is all going to be great, but I think the reaction is going to be bad against the show. Cal, what do you think?
I think you guys are mad. I think that at least one or two of those games is going to be enough to drop people's jaws, whether it be Death Stranding or I think people are going to walk away happy. And if my prediction comes through with the Capcom thing, I think people are going to be even more over the moon.
Fair enough.
I think you're dead wrong, hashtagging it.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. And what else do we got? Jimmy, did I go through you yet for the Sony show?
Yeah, you killed me with the Sly Cooper thing.
Yeah,
I mean, we kind of agreed with me, but everyone else didn't, and we kind of got you on board. I just want more sneaking around. That's great. I love it, sneaking.
All right. So what do we got left? Microsoft. I didn't skip anyone. I got everyone. Microsoft. I'm not going to go first on this one because I have no idea. I'm going to give it to Dalibor. I'm going to give it to you, Dalibor.
That's a bummer. Okay, I was going to help you go first, but that's all right. I will chime in because I do have one. I think Microsoft's got a 2-hour press conference, and it's going to be Japanese developer heavy with emphasis on Capcom and Sega.
Okay, so that's where Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to show.
Oh my gosh, boys, that's a beautiful dream.
We heard a while back that Microsoft was having a bunch of Japanese devs over, I know Sega, Capcom, I think Square were there back in February. It was on Era had it up on their in the forums, and I think they were doing it to get set for E3 and get people hyped up. So yeah, I think it's going to be Japanese developer heavy this year.
Okay, so what do you think, Jim?
I think that's a really, really good prediction, just because that's one thing that when a lot of people look at Xbox, they don't associate it with these big kind of single player, especially JRPGs. And I think if they could get something specifically developed for them as a first party title, or even like a third party thing with that, with like a Capcom or something like, we're making this RPG for them. I know we've had issues with that in the past, with Scalebound.
Even like a timed exclusive or something. Yeah.
Exactly. I really think we will see a big push for that. And I think with that news too, I think there's a high chance of that.
What do you think, Paul?
Y'all remember when they tried to do Blue Dragon back on the 360?
Yeah. I do. It looked great.
Let's hope.
Great. Again, Akira Toriyama's art style. Okay. All about that.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. So I feel like I'm the wet blanket of tonight. I think if Xbox runs out a bunch of Japanese games, Japanese developers, it's a goddamn waste of their time. They sold 12 Xboxes in Japan. Why the hell would they focus on that? I don't. Well, they can try again, and they tried to push it. Well, they've been doing some amazing stuff, and I wish they were more successful than they actually are, because they deserve a hit. They deserve such a big hit, but I don't think. I don't know, man. Unless you get the Japanese game fans here in the West, it's not going to sell in Japan. So I'll give you a response there, Donnie, because I saw that wagging finger. I was like,
okay, I'm going to give you a rebuttal. The Japanese game developers on the Xbox One are not for the Japanese market. Okay. The Xbox is dead in Japan. But everybody is buying the PS4 and the Switch right now. If you look at all the games coming out of Japan, it's PS4 and Switch. Those are the two consoles they're developing for. Yeah, there's a Monster Hunter here or there. There's some, but they're all coming to those two. And I think that Microsoft is trying to say that they don't have a lot of first-party stuff. Yeah, you're going to get Gears again. You're going to get the same 4 IPs all over again that we're already bored of. So let's bring over some of these third parties that you're not getting that have totally migrated to PS4 and Switch and try to get those. I mean, they do appear on the Xbox, but they need to be hyped up at a press conference for the U.S. market.
All right, I'll allow it. I'll allow it to rebuttal, but we'll see. We'll see. Jim, what's going to be the big Xbox prediction for you?
I wanted to go with a safe bet, like something stupid, like Red Dead Redemption 2, like DLC first on Xbox. But let's do something a little nuts.
Right.
Let's go crazy.
Yes.
How about you start off the show all black and you just hear duh, and they show Banjo. CG version says, "Look at Nintendo's like little direct for more on Banjo in Super Smash Brothers for Switch.
Ooh.
He's coming. Let's do the crossover. Let's just shake some hands and let's go after Sony together." That's what I want to see.
I love it.
I like that a lot.
Like you might have wasted your big dreams bet on that one, but
That's okay.
All right, I like that one. What do you think, Carl? Is it gonna happen?
Yes, 100%. I think there's a high chance of Banjo being in Smash Brothers. I don't know if it would be necessarily on the Microsoft drawing attention to Nintendo. Maybe Phil Harrison goes to the Nintendo conference. Or no, they do a direct, right? So he can't even... Maybe he walks on screen.
Spencer, I don't
know. Yeah. But I think that's a fantastic bet.
Yeah. What do you think?
Walks in front of the screen. And also, Jimmy has an impression.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a good impression. Is that doable, Dalibor? Yeah.
I'm muted again. Yeah, it is, and they've been. Microsoft has said that they wanted to. Even Phil Spencer came out and said, "Hey, we're ready. It's okay. We can loan him over there. He was on Nintendo consoles before." Yeah, I think it's totally doable. Nintendo has done it in the past. There was a Halo game in development for the DS of all things, and Microsoft games did Minecraft is on the Switch. So yeah, I think it's very, very possible.
Okay.
I'm putting that in a 60 to 80% probability that's going to happen.
Wow.
All right, cool. Oh, yeah, fine, sure. Why not? Banjo. I know the game, Banjo-Kazooie, but I don't know if it's big enough. But it gets a lot of love, so who knows? I think Microsoft would have other characters that they would drop in Smash. If they want to.
You're not going to Master Chief in there because
Conquer.
Ooh, there you go.
Conquer.
If we're gonna do crossovers, there's plenty to work with. But sure, you want to pick Banjo? You want to put your prediction on Banjo? I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Fine. Fair enough. All right.
I'll
Call Microsoft. What are they gonna do to blow everybody's minds?
Would that be?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. This is... I want to say Conquer. I want to say we're going to see the little squirrel dude, but probably not. I think this is the week of... And it's going to be for the Xbox Games Pass, exclusively.
Okay. Fair enough. What do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think they need to really make the Games Pass more attractive. And I think, unfortunately, recently with Sea of Thieves, when they first announced that it was going to be first on Games Pass, and they're going to start launching all these games the day of on Games Pass, it was like, oh, people are like, wow, that's a great deal. And now it's kind of like, not so great. State of Decay 2, not a lot of like hype around that anymore. So it would be nice to see them bring some more things to make people excited about the Game Pass.
We're Game Pass, all out.
I think they're going to go all out because Game Pass is the future of the Xbox brand. So they're going to go all out, and they may even, I love the idea of them saying the game, Gears of War 5 or whatever the number we're up to right now is going to be on Games Pass 2 weeks before it appears in stores and on the console. So I think that's the future.
Yeah.
I think it's the right thing to do actually.
Yeah, I agree. Games Pass is going to be a big thing.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you guys heard it's going to be exclusive.
Oh, exclusive. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Only get
Fair enough. Fair ugh. Yeah, because I was gonna say like Game Pass, I think is great stuff, but I'm not sure if it's a press conference material to get the applause. But we'll see. Exclusive might take to another level. So it's gonna be interesting. I really hope for Microsoft to have a huge show. So for my big prediction, oh God, they gotta bring it.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, they gotta bring it. They gotta have something big. And even when you bring out Halo 6, it's not gonna be a surprise. People are gonna be like, yeah, of course they gotta bring Halo 6. They have to. Of course they're gonna bring Gears of War 5. They have to. God, I honestly don't know. Microsoft will.
They're going to here's a free one for you. They're going to come out and say for like the 8th year in a row, they're going to say this is the biggest year in Xbox games history.
Yeah, oh, there's the softest of all the balls,
right? They say it every year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think they're going to have a great show. I'm just going to, because I really want it to happen. I think they're going to. They need to show something. They're going to show something that none of us could have predicted in this show, and that's going to be my prediction. Like, I'm going to expect the unexpected. What I really appreciate is that new controller they built, they just put it out there. They didn't wait for E3. They put it in the hands of the people that need it right away. But maybe they have something else up their sleeve that would have been a low key announcement. They have to do something great. I think they're gonna do prediction. They're gonna do something great, and it's gonna be unexpected. Does that count? It's kind of weird, eh? But it's gonna complete out of the left field, and it's not gonna be a game. It's gonna be something else, and it's gonna be well received instead of people going like, "Hey, this is not why I watched the press conference." Wow, this is the softest bet that I ever made. They're gonna do something cool. But when you see it, you'll understand what I mean. Do you think they're going to do something unexpectedly cool, Dalibor?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think you're right up there with that. This is, I hate saying it this way because it always sounds bad when someone brings it up. This is a do or die year for Microsoft at E3. The Switch and the PS4 are eating its lunch right now. It's dead in Japan. It's okay in Europe, but the PlayStation's there. So I think you're right. I think they typically, when the industry zigs, they typically zig with it. But I think this time they may actually full-on zag.
Dude, cool. That's a headline right there, maybe.
Full-on zag. Okay, Jimmy,
Full-on
do you think
zag.
they're going to do the full-on zag?
I think that I completely agree there with Dali. I think that, besides showing off a game or two that are really going to be, people are going to talk about in the same breath with Final Fantasy VII Remake, they'll be like, but, Microsoft debuted that crazy new game too. I think they will do something to really stand out, and I'm really hopeful because I want them to do well, because if they compete well enough with Sony and stuff, that's just better for all of us.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. How about you, Cole?
I'll be the wet blanket this time. I volunteer. I think they're going to show like a fucking car again or something.
Yeah, that's a hard zig to Dalibor zag, I think. Fair enough. It's gonna be interesting because it's gonna be a hardware-less conference for the first time in like 3 or 4 years. So who knows? Maybe they're gonna bring the Kinect back just to piss me off. Like, I don't know.
Oh, no. Milo's back.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. I guess we do have to talk quickly about Nintendo, because they do have their their canned conference, but they have a lot apparent potentials there to wow us. So I'm gonna go over it real quick. What's gonna be the big? Because there's gonna be a game reveal, no doubt, that's gonna blow everybody's mind. And I know everybody wants to say Smash, and it's gonna be amazing, but I don't think that's a big prediction. But Dolly, what's going to be Nintendo's surprise? What's going to be your prediction?
Starting off with me. It's God, I don't know. Pass on me for now. I'll come back in a second.
Go ahead.
All right, here's your prediction. They're showing off that core Pokemon game, but actually it makes a lot of people angry. I think people are, that's why they show it off. They show it off Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee which wasn't what people were expecting. They thought this was going to be the core game, and I think this is to assuage people going forward when they show this new one, because they'll show the new one and people will be like, but that's not what I wanted. They'll be like, well, you could still play, Pikachu and Eevee over here. So, like, I really think something bad or weird is going to happen as far as, like, Pokemon fandom goes. I think the game will still look cool and be cool, but I think there's going to be a lot of kind of disappointed fans.
All right.
I don't know if they eat their own lunch like that.
All right.
Maybe not.
They might I don't think they want to show the next game even in the chance that it looks cool. So people will be like, well, I'm not getting that fucking Let's Go thing, I'll just wait for the next one. I don't think they want to show the full hand yet.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see.
I'll throw a quick comment on that one. I don't think they're going to show anything else Pokemon for that new Pokemon. I think just Let's Go is all they're going to focus on.
Yeah.
You think? Why would they show it like a month before though? Is
like
my
2
question.
weeks
Why not save this?
2 weeks.
All right, 2 weeks. Sorry, 2 weeks before. Why not just like save this? Maybe because people were starting to like catch on and they're like, all right, we got to beat the leak here.
Yeah.
You're like, show us that right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were just not excited enough about it to save it for E3. Like get it out of the cannon and then go into E3 fully loaded. What's your big Nintendo one call?
Retro shows off that Star Fox Grand Prix, and we're all like, hey, that looks pretty sick. Because Retro hasn't made a bad game yet.
Okay. Right. I like that. It's because that is a heavily rumored game, and we're actually gonna like it. I like the addition to that. Do you think it's a good bet, Jim?
I think so, and I think it'll be really cool to see Banjo in it. I think it'll be great. I think he's going to show up because I keep talking. He's like Diddy Kong Racing. Banjo's a Diddy Kong Racing, and I think we'll see Banjo in a spacesuit. Oh, wow. It'll be great. They don't have a bear in that universe, do they?
There it is.
I love this, yeah.
Double points for Jimmy on that one if that happens.
I'll be like, yeah.
What do you think, Dalibor?
Yeah, I mean, if that comes out this year, then they have a trifecta of 3 really good games in the fall with Smash and Pokemon that are all going to sell well. So yeah, I think that I think that game could potentially be pretty cool.
All right. Well, I'm gonna roll you over directly into your own Nintendo bet then.
Okay, mine Metroid Prime Trilogy HD.
Okay.
That we're gonna get that this year because Metroid Prime 4 is not coming out this year.
So is it confirmed that the new Metroid is gonna be a Prime game? Because
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
That was the logo Metroid Prime 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So Prime HD. What do you think, guys? Jimmy?
I think there's potential for that happening just to get people excited and prepped for 4. I think that's not a bad idea, especially if you bundle that all together and be like, yep, it's on the Switch, on to go. Get ready for it before 4 comes out, which will come out in like 2 or 3 years, or whatever it is. If ever, yeah, for sure.
You think that's a good bet, Call?
Same. Yeah, I think it's a good bet that's if not this year, then in next year. But yeah, this year totally. They start the next Metroid Prime game, on the series.
All right. Okay, good. Easy. Okay, so my big Nintendo bet. I wish it wasn't a Prime game. So I'm gonna go out there with mine. I think there's gonna be a Metroid game, but it's gonna be in the style of Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. 2D side-scrolling graphical looks like, and it's gonna be Metroid, like Super Metroid, in Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze style. I think that would sell 100 million copies. Fight me, Dalibor. What do you think? I know.
Oh no! You know what? If the Metroid Return of Samus, the 3DS remake of Metroid 2 that came out last year was really good, really overlooked by a lot of folks. Bring that to Switch or remake Super Metroid, because if they remake Super Metroid that way, that'd be fantastic. Another great way. I don't know why that they haven't put any one of those games out on Switch. It would sell.
Ridiculous. What do you think, Jim?
I think you're crazy,
Yeah, I know.
but I love
love
it. But I love it. That would be really cool. I think they also debut it just like with somebody walking around Japan talking to somebody like they've done the last few times, where they have like actually cool development diaries, or like have like yarn for a bit, and there's someone just like walking out there with like a blaster, and they're like, I always thought it'd be cool if Samus would be like just running, but even cooler if it was like in like the 3D and like that would be cool, man. I would love to see that.
Such easy money. Come on, Nintendo. What do you think, Carl?
Same. I love the optimism. You actually did this prediction on my show. You're an insane person. But yeah, I'm all for it. I don't actually think it's going to happen, but I'm fingers like I really want to. And I want to add on to that. I would love to see a hand-drawn art style. That would be kind of a slick touch. Digital, you know, I think that would be really sick looking.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be pretty cool. Fair enough. I'll give it. I'll give it to you. Okay, so that's all the content, I think. Unless we have Devolver, but like there's no point in even trying to predict what they're gonna do. So
what about the PC gaming show?
nobody likes the PC gaming show. Like, it's a good show if you're like super into it, but it's like 22 hours long, and like I don't know, man.
Yep.
22
Has anything ever been revealed on the PC Gamer show?
I think the 2017 PC gaming show is still going on.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough. So no, I'm just gonna deliberately skip those. Like I kind of wanted to talk about leaks with you guys, but we've been going so deep into predictions. So by the time this airs on Monday, half of our predictions are leaked.
Yes.
I just want to get a quick yes or no. Do leaks suck or not, Dali?
I think they suck, but I also think they're inevitable because you now have thousands of people working on a single AAA game. So just with all the the packaging and marketing, people forget that it's not just the folks that are developers that are in the credits, but it's people that are in marketing and printers and print shops and GameStop employees. They suck because I love surprises, but it's inevitable. So you just got to get over it.
How do you, Jimmy? Suck or love them?
Oh, they suck. I hate them. I really do hate them because it really, like, that moment is something that I think collectively as, fans of video game enthusiasts, as I like to call us, it's something we can come together on and have a moment where we all share in it. And as, our technology has gotten better and better, the chances for that information to leak on an airplane or a train or wherever have become increasingly more, substantial. They suck. I hate them.
How would you call?
As a creative myself, I can, definitely with developers and seeing their baby getting how that must suck. But as I actually cover them, like I love going on the internet, and then I'm all of a sudden like, oh my god, there's information on the new Pokemon Switch game, but get information not supposed to know yet. I feel like I'm in on something.
Yeah.
And that's just the selfish part of me. I understand why they suck, but yeah.
I feel that.
That's how I feel.
I feel you a little bit there, because years ago I would also like search for everything. Like, what leaked? What information do we have? But I also think like it's terrible for people who have been spending so much time and money in getting that conference ready. But I also have to acknowledge that like we are a group of people that are actually exposed to this kind of stuff because we are so hard in that bubble where we get all the information. And I wonder what the percentages of the people that watch the press conferences but are not living in that bubble, so they still get that surprise. So I don't know, but whoever leaked that Odyssey keychain, and I think that's just a packager. Like they printed the things, they got the molds back, and they had like some dudes put that into the packages and before shipping, and it was just some asshole that took a picture of it and ruined like everything. I hope they find that person, like that bastard. But there is a certain excitement to it. But if they would have like shown me an off-screen screenshot of the Final Fantasy VII remake trailer, like that would have been the worst because that was such a almost like, dare I say, iconic moment in the industry when that happened. When you see the reactions to that, like if that would have been spoiled, that would have sucked. That would have hardcore sucked. Anyways, like Dali said, it's going to be harder and harder to keep it under wraps. But we'll see when Bethesda announces their third pillar, and we had no idea what that was coming leak-wise. So they might still be. Some are better at it than others, I guess. So we had some good predictions, but I want to end on one big dream, like. And I promise I'm not going to say Dragon's Dogma 2 because I've been screaming that everywhere already. Colin, I'm going to start with you. What is going to be your one big dream if you don't have to like be realistic and stuff?
If I'm not being realistic, I want a Parasite Eve revival.
Ooh. Parasite Eve. Okay.
It's never happening.
That's why it's dreams, baby. That's why it's dreams.
I want it to be, like third-person action horror. I want them to bring back the and Square Enix is doing it, and it's in what's the engine that Final Fantasy 15 is running on? That one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna allow wet blankets on big dreams. So I'm just gonna ask for dreams and no feedback on it because I don't want to kill the vibe.
Then it turns into wet dreams.
No, wet blankets, boy. Boy. Jimmy, what's gonna be your big dream?
All right, here it is. Rocksteady. It's not Arkham Beyond that I kind of think that's going to happen. They're making a Deathstroke video game about my favorite orange and black masked assassin. It's rated M. It is violent. It is brutal. It takes everything you love from the Arkham games, takes it up a notch. I want it so badly. Please, please, after you ruined him in the last game, please, Rocksteady, listen to me. Just do it for me. Just
Preach.
for me. Please, come on, let's go.
Okay. I'm so mad that I just imposed a rule that I can't put a wet blanket on your dreams, but...
That's why I went for it, because I was like, no wet blanket here.
All right. I'll take it offline. Dalibor, what's going to be your big dream?
My big dream is the Marvel, was it the Ubisoft, the Marvel game that
Square
or
Enix.
Square? I don't even know who. Square, whoever wrote that. I want that. I want, especially after Infinity War. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Give me that game.
What kind of dream?
Yes.
What kind of dream is that, man? We know that's coming. Like you can basically put
It's
on
a
a piece of
huge
paper.
dream because they haven't talked about it since. So it's got to be a great dream.
Okay, what kind of game do you want? What kind of game is it going to be?
It's going to be a Arkham style game. Actually, that's what I think it's going to be like.
Okay, big roster.
Which I would love.
That would be pretty sweet.
It's a big roster of characters that you can choose from, but it's going to be an Arkham style game.
Like a Marvel Alliance, but like Arkham style.
Yes, yeah. I love those Alliance games too.
Oh, dude.
Oh my god, that would be
Yes.
amazing. Oh, yeah.
Can I crawl around as Bruce Banner in Event and then turn into the Hulk and just be like, you know what? Forget this. That was...
It's basically Lego Marvel, but
Yeah, but better.
I like that. I like it. Okay, so my big dream, it's a Capcom game. It's a sequel. No, okay. I said it was good.
Mega Man 12.
No. Dragon's Dogma, man. Come on, the time is right. No, I think my big dream. Oh man, that's gonna be so tough. Because I've been so focused on Dragon's Dogma 2, guys. Like, it's gonna happen eventually. You know what? I'm gonna say the revival of a classic on the Nintendo 8-bit, and it's gonna be a Switch remaster of the classic Lolo Adventures.
Oh.
No way.
Yes.
Lolo's Adventures.
Have you guys played Lolo Adventures?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So like I have.
You mean Adventures of Lolo?
Yeah, I guess.
Adventures of Lolo.
Yeah. That's true. So the game holds a special place in my heart because it's one of these games that we played as an entire family trying to solve the puzzles. Would be perfect for the Switch. Perfect. Just like you only have to update the graphics just a little bit, and then you have a perfect handheld game. So the Adventures of Lolo. I think the second one was the best one. I don't remember. So yeah, there's my big dream, and you can't put a wet blanket on it because it's my dream, baby. Mm-hmm. Well, it's one more week.
I love it.
Yeah. This time next week, we'll know everything about EA.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Are you going to make like a spreadsheet or a checklist or a bingo sheet for all of us?
I might, because I figured that the winner or the loser of this, because we all have podcasts, right?
We're all winners.
So I would say the person with the best predictions, and it could be either your big dream or like the most of your predictions, gets to host this group of people on the next podcast. So
right.
there will be. I just like dictate you who you're going to invite on your own podcast.
I was just thinking.
I love it.
So we'll see.
And they get to mow my lawn.
Exactly.
Fly out
That'll be
here.
perfect. And
Do my taxes.
put some ice on my neck because it's getting really warm here. So that was great. And the one thing I forgot was to introduce you all in the beginning. So I'll give that to you in my favorite segment, which is podcast and shill. So Dalibor, what do you want to shill for? Either yourself or whatever you want.
Shilling for the amazing team that I work with over at SideQuesting. So yeah, visit us SideQuesting.com.
Okay, and where can I find you personally?
At Dali Domovsky.
All right.
I'm everything.
Okay, that's easy enough. Well, I wish you the best at E3, and I know you're gonna miss me.
I am totally had a blast last year.
So I'm gonna outsource all my hugs for all our mutual friends.
Yes, most definitely. You were my date to several events, several after parties,
Yes.
and I'm gonna miss that.
Yes, a lot of them actually. Like we
Mhm,
tend to cross paths all the time. It's funny how some people you see all the time, and others you only see once or not at all. But we always manage to end up in the same rooms. But not this year, my friend. I will be screaming at the sidelines, just like everybody else. Jimmy, podcast is shill, man. Where can we find you? What do you do?
Yes, well, you can find me over on YouTube at Critical Reviews. That's where I do a podcast. We do reviews of movies and games and stuff. We even do live press conference reactions. So if that's your type of thing and you don't have anyone else to hang out with, you can come hang out with me and watch me do a lot of this.
Yeah.
Like that. So it's a lot of that. We have Patreon, but I'm also on Twitter. We have an official account, which is at Go Critical, capital G, capital C. Or you can find me personally. I'm at JimmyGood013. So tweet me anytime.
Awesome. How about you, Carl? Where can we find you?
You can find me on the Pens and Pixels podcast. You can find on iTunes, SoundCloud, podcast service you use. We're there. We talk about the art and news of video games, comics, and movies that week. And if you want to find me on Twitter, and maybe you didn't like the things I said, but maybe you want to see the art I do, that's at the CalG.
Okay. So your art is amazing, but there's a good chance people can't even hear you what you're saying, so they don't have to worry about that. But Cal's a very talented artist. I really love his work, so definitely check that out.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I vouch for Cal, too? I was on his show. It's a good show. He does great art as well, and I respect the fact that he went with the loving leaks as opposed. I was going to say, that takes a lot to say that you love leaks, so I'm like, get out of here, Cal. That's candor. Candor.
I'm brave. What can I say?
Well, I am the Hashtagonist, and you can find me at the Hashtagonist on Twitter. And if you get the show through one of the channels that I don't even know that I'm on, you can find me on patreon.com/the Hashtagonist. And that's where I drop all the links and everything you need to know. And otherwise, follow me on Twitter. If you need a bunch of nonsense in your life, then definitely hit that follow button. Thank you, everybody, all my guests, for coming on the show on a Saturday night. We went way over time, but that's just excellent. That is just amazing. E3 is a big deal, and I think we're all going to love it no matter what. And I'm looking forward to looking back at this time capsule that we're going to bury in the ground now and see how much comes through and how much is just absolutely ridiculous. Dalibor, thank you so much. Jimmy, thank you.
Thank you.
Carl, thank you so much. I hope to talk to you all again, and if you're still listening, thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back next week. Have a good night.